Hello everybody and welcome to another video on the channel, and in today's video I have the best level 170 Supreme Fire builds for PvP and PvE respectively. So I'll have timestamps down below in the description if you want to skip to your preferred game mode. So yeah, Fire has some pretty good stats at level 170. It was a little bit difficult to make the PvP build, I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay. Fire is pretty good in PvP right now. So let's start off with the PvP setup and then move into PvE. So for PvP, we have about 10.7k health, which is okay. It's probably the worst part about the setup. Fire's health cap is at about 11,300. So you're missing out on about 600 health, which is a little bit annoying, but the other stats make up for it. You're right at the damage cap. Your resist is right at the resist cap. You have perfect accuracy to fire and myth, essentially. Then you have really good crit, really good block, right at that pierce cap too, essentially. A little bit of pierce as well for myth damage and myth pierce. Then you have about 53% pip conserve. You can't really get this up any higher without giving up like a lot, so it's pretty okay, you know, pretty middle of the road, literally. Then we have 2-piece shad with perfect pips. So what I'm running is the Burrower's hat with a myth blocking pin and 170 myth punishing pins, okay? So myth dual school is really good on a fire right now. It's not like OP, but like it's actually really good simply because the fire pins are the best ones in the game right now. Reason being, if you compare this to any other school, you get like the most damage and the most pierce by a landslide. I think if you take Storm for example, they only get 1 more damage, but they lose 2 pierce on each pin. So fire pins are just the best that any school can have right now. So definitely get those if you guys can. We have the Aeon robe. Now keep in mind guys, the Nightmare has not come out yet as of the time I am recording this audio. That is coming out January 2024, very early, obviously into the new 2024 year. But yeah, Aeon robe with again full myth pins, burrow boots with a balance block pin, and obviously again we have myth pins right there. I have the Aeon sword with a health socket and obviously myth damage. I wouldn't mind having Shabalba wand personally, but I just don't have that yet. We are raiding in about 3 days time from now, so hopefully I can get it then. Aeon, obviously, I'm running this over the Reaver simply to get my accuracy up for my main school and my myth dual school. Also, it's not that bad in general, you know, 17 myth damage isn't terrible. So it kind of works out, it checks out, you know. I would recommend Hunhao Athame if you could get that from the raid. I will be trying to get that myself. And obviously we have the Dream Reaver Amulet with a 16% accuracy and a pierce tool. You don't need 16%. As long as you have 15 to be at 30, you will be okay, guys. So be sure you have at least a 15 and a 7%. You can get the 7% from Novus in the Konotas area, or basically just like 13,000 gold. It's a pretty good deal. Reaver Ring, again, health socket, pierce socket, pretty good. Then this is the pet I am running right now. It's basically just like a stat pet with D-Lance to make up for the fact that pips are not really that amazing. Obviously the set bonus and Reaver deck with 10 damage. So yeah, it's a pretty good setup. You can dual school decently well. You're, like I said, at your pierce cap, damage cap, and resist cap. And then the only thing you're giving up is about 600 health. So again, you're about meeting that conditional of meeting 3 out of 4 stat maxes, which is kind of the general principle you're gonna want to go for. when you're making a PvP build right now at 170. Overall though, I've been having a really good time on my fire. I think I went 11 into my first day doing fire PvP on stream. So very happy with the state of the school in PvP at least. And now let's talk about PvE, guys. Alright, so this is the PvE build that I was able to cook up. Now keep in mind the nightmare is not out yet, so when the nightmare does drop, you're simply just gonna swap out your, you know, boots, your hat, and your wand for the nightmare, and then your stats will be slightly better. The nightmare is the same template as Aeon, in case you're wondering. It's like the same stats, but just better for 170. So yeah, we'll have about 11,400 health. I am missing 600 health right here, so keep that in mind. So pretty solid health, 168 damage, 35 res, perfect accuracy, really good crit, pretty good block for PvE as well. 33 pierce. This isn't too big of a deal because again, you're piercing all of a brace, and most of the time, generally, you're not hitting through shields typically, and even if you are, you pierce most of that shield typically, and with this amount of damage and your damage per pip, you're probably just gonna kill them anyways with that amount of pierce. 53% pip conserve, perfect pips, one piece shad, and obviously Reaver deck. So I'm running the Aeon hat, the Melody robe, the Aeon boots, the Aeon sword. Pretty similar to Novus, right? But we have the Reaver knife instead of the Aeon for that extra damage slot. Also, the health is pretty nice as well. Then we have the Reaver amulet with 10 damage as opposed to the 6 pierce we had previously on the PvP setup. Then we have the Reaver ring. Again, I'm missing that health socket, so you simply add 600 to my health that is in the bottom left there. You know, pretty standard Philosopher and mount that we all know and hate. And then the Reaver deck, obviously with 10 damage. So yeah, that is the fire setups I was able to cook up. I, again, like fire a lot in PvE in this world. Scald Insignate is really good. Really solid school in PvP right now. Matter of fact, as well. So yeah, really liking the fire at 170. Let me know what you guys think about these setups down there in the comments below. If you have any questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, y'all.